Hi, I'm Oscar Butler, and welcome to another episode of Songwriting Rules. So, we are continuing to talk about getting your song to make sense. In the past episodes, we were talking about how to make sense means to appeal to your listeners' senses, to their five senses. If you can grab them by their senses, you'll pull them in emotionally. Getting your listener to hear, see, taste, feel, smell something gets them involved in the lyric, gets them actively designing the lyric in their head. Like, for instance, I think about an old Carole King song where she said, "I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down." You know, maybe we've not actually felt the earth in its rotation moving, but you can imagine what that might feel like. You know, just earthquake. I've actually been in a small earthquake and felt things moving. But for people to imagine, you know, something that makes them feel like the earth is moving, it gets them involved in what you're talking about. In the last episode, I talked about, you know, a few things like hearing a plane, it makes you think about, oh, well, if you hear that, when you, like, I can hear a plane going over right now, and I know what it is. It brings to mind that if I'm outside, well, I might look up, although I've gotten to the point where I no longer look up for planes unless it sounds like it's incredibly low. Then I might look up because I might have to duck. But the thing is to get people to imagine themselves in a situation. Standing in the botanical garden, standing in the middle of a bed of roses or just any flowers. You smell it, you can smell it, get people to understand, to get them to remember what it's like standing in the middle of a bed of flowers. James Taylor wrote in his song Copperline, "First kiss ever I took was like a page from a romance book. The sky opened and the earth shook down on Copperline." Great phrasing, great words. I mean, just imagine. I mean, if you ever read a romance novel, you know, a page out of a romance book, it was just, you just can relate to something like that. The trick with your lyrics that you want to develop is to show, not just tell. Show people with your words. When you're just stating things, it just tends to be bland. So I'm going to present you with a challenge for this week, or until my next episode comes out. I'm going to challenge you to look around your room, go out, go for a walk, think about what's going on. Listen, I mean, if you're in a place where there's traffic, think about, what does that traffic sound like? How can you describe that traffic? If you're in a place, what does that place smell like? You know, you walk into a Starbucks, or you walk into a bakery, into a Dunkin' Donuts. You know, can you describe the sweetness of that smell? Different ways to say things, and have a pad or something. Because first, what you should do is just write down, just describe it, and then paint it with words. Paint it. Try that. See what happens. See what you come up with. I mean, it's kind of like free writing. Is just go out and do this stuff. You know, take a walk around your neighborhood, around your town. Go up in a building and stand it on the top floor and look out and describe not just what you see, but describe what you're feeling from what you're seeing. Get into the senses. Get yourself involved, and then allow yourself to paint it. Allow yourself to get your listener involved the same way you are. Try to get people to climb into it with you. That's fun. That's fun. That's exciting. Do stuff like that, and you'll see your lyrics live. You'll see people really enjoying what they're hearing. But it takes practice. So if you don't do it, if you don't get it down right first time, don't worry about it. It takes practice. Do it every day. Work on it. Have fun doing it. I mean, that's how it happened for me, is that I started understanding this stuff, started working and started practicing it. And then the next thing I know, I'm writing lyrics and I'm like, hey, I like that. I like how I said that. Hey, that's another episode. And remember, please hit that red button down there and subscribe to this channel so you'll always know when I'm putting out new content, when I'm posting my new songs, when my blog comes out on Sunday. Make sure you're linked in so you don't miss out on any of this great stuff that I'm sharing with you.